Guys, welcome back to the SLI Invitational. We have Game 2 between EHOME.Keen and CDEC on the way. This is lower bracket, so a loss for EHOME.Keen. They're out of here, and CDEC will continue onwards where they don't know their next opponent. I don't think that game has actually been played yet. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this match and the next. We have another best of 3 coming up. Well, it really depends on when this ends, but it's going to be LFY going up against IG. Actually, that's scheduled for, what time is it? 5:30. It's an hour and a half. Regardless of the results of this game, it's going to be in that time. So yeah, be sure to stick around, guys. Lots of Dota going on today here and in other channels, so you should have your eyes full. We have a draft going on right now. We have Batrider, Earth Spirit, picked up by CDEC and EHOME.Keen. Well, I mean, Legion Commander, Crystal Maiden was actually pretty good in the early stages, but kind of fell apart later on. Kind of to be expected as a CM, honestly, but Legion Commander, a little bit of inconsistent dueling decisions from her. We may or may not see the Abaddon again, because the Batrider is now in play from CDEC. Had some pretty good success with this hero in their previous set versus IGV, played right before this game. But that being said, it's up against a Legion Commander. Now, like, regardless of how the Legion Commander played in the last game, she's a lot better now because of the fact that she's up against both an Earth Spirit and a Bat. So this press the attack is going to be pretty freaking strong. Strong dispel. Yeah, there you go. So lasso, silence, stuns. It's all going to kind of run up against this Legion Commander like nothing. And in that regard, I like this Legion Commander. On this Batrider, and they, in their previous set, as I mentioned before, had Batrider get off to a really good start and was very successful. But it's not always going to be that way. It was, yeah, still a rough game for CDEC, that one, but the Batrider had such a great start, was able to get like a 12-minute drums, boots, and was able to also pick up a pretty fast Blink Dagger in like 15 minutes, something like that. It was ridiculous. Up against a Weaver as well. But it's going to be a lot more difficult now, and that was also a fifth pick Batrider. A fast pick Batrider? That doesn't make any sense. A fifth pick Batrider. But picking up this early leads you open to counter picks. Legion Commander, Vengeful Spirit, probably the two big ones. Abaddon nowadays is actually a pretty big one. Possibility, I suppose, for EHOME.Keen. And this Batrider's life is very difficult now. They're going to still stick with this Bat plan. Get the Witch Doctor up, just grab someone with the lasso, start tearing them to shreds at the Death Ward. In theory, it's a really good way of getting kills, until you run into press the attack again, where it gets a lot weaker. But, I mean, they're going to still stick to their guns. It is still a very powerful way to go.
5 seconds remaining.
Actually, no, did they win that Batrider game? I think it was game 2. I think they won that one, if I recall correctly. Either way, EHOME.Keen, same exact opening. Powerful heroes still in the pool. Lifestealer, really good, and they might just want to pick that to make sure that CDEC don't get that. Batrider Witch Doctor is dangerous. Batrider with a Lifestealer inside is, oh boy, baby, that's going to hurt. It was Invoker Batrider, their combo that they ran with the Bat, like you just grab him with the lasso and then you drop a Sunstrike on him. Obviously not a possibility anymore, banned out by EHOME.Keen. But looking at that mid lane, Alchemist, Lina, both out along with that Invoker. Puck just seems like a reasonable hero to have on the EHOME side. You can also always go for like your ODs, your Tinkers, or Dooms. Okay, that's a little bit of a twist. Haven't seen a Doom in quite a long time. I do think it's pretty much a NA Dota LOL staple. I think that's the only region I've seen pick up Doom. And they've been having some decent success with the hero, but again, it's NA Dota. Who knows about that, right? I'm from NA, so I get to talk shit about them. You guys haven't earned that right yet. But yeah, Doom is definitely an interesting hero here. Is really powerful up against Earth Spirit. Is only kind of mediocre up against the Batrider. I expect him to be taking the kind of Monkey King, Earth Spirit type role in this game, and usually the third hero with that is Ricky. He's banned out, so it can get a lot of work done. And if EHOME.Keen are going to try to play, or if either side is going to try to play the Hand of Midas game, then Doom with Hand of Midas and Devour can certainly get off to a pretty ridiculous amount of net worth. I don't mind the pick, and it is certainly very strong up against a Morphling as well. But now we're looking at Lincoln Spheres for the CDEC squad, which are going to be absolutely killer. Like, if you run your Doom into a Lincoln Sphere, feels bad, man. Same thing with the duel, honestly. Like, press the attack yourself, prep in for the blink duel, and then Lincoln Sphere, and then you can't get the kill because you can't stick onto your targets. I like the pick of the Morphling there for CDEC, although up against Doom, Lifestealer could have also definitely have gotten the job done. CDEC ran a very similar draft in the game that they lost up against IGV.
10 seconds remaining.
Same group of heroes kind of being picked up, lots of magic damage. It was Ember last. Ember is really not a hero you want to have right now as CDC up against Doom. Tough times if you decide to do that. But already they've picked up the Bat Rider, who now is going to run into yet another problem. So you're going to jump in and try to grab someone. It can't really be the Slark because he might just randomly be pacting, so you might just waste your lasso against that. It can't really be anyone near a Legion Commander because she's just going to press that net off. It's tough times for the Bat Rider. But if you do land it, Death Ward should be able to get kills most of the time. Maybe not on Doom, he's pretty tanky. Legion is also fairly tanky. Slark also is usually pretty farm, so he's pretty tanky as well. But everyone else, you can kill them. Crystal Maiden, poor Crystal Maiden. This is going to be a tough time for CM, man. But this is also a game where CM, just by staying alive, is going to give a lot of benefits to her allies. We already saw the last game how powerful Legion Commander was with just a handful of extra overwhelming odds casts in lane. Doom as a hero very, very frequently is low on mana. So just being able to freely devour whenever you have it on or available to you off cooldown. Infernal Blade spams, the creep abilities, whatever you have, is usually pretty expensive in your mana pool. So yeah, that aura is going to be pretty killer. Now an Ember Spirit here for EHOME.Keen. It is going to be that 4-position Doom. And Ember Spirit taking to the safe lane. OD already taken out along with the puck. Mid lane selection. Looking rather thin, actually. As far as good matchups versus the Ember Spirit, the only hero that's completely off the table at this point is it's kind of just that TA. Tinker is still a possibility for CDEC, I suppose. Should have a decent matchup, especially with an Earth Spirit. Outside of that, are there any kind of like unconventional mids they can go for? Jug is still in the pool, but I'm not really sure if you want to be playing a Juggernaut mid up against what EHOME.Keen have. I don't think they can like afford to dual lane Morphling mid. It's a possibility, but up against Ember Spirit, it's kind of tough. They can maybe... Nah, I was going to say Sniper. That's not a good idea. Probably not. Shadow Fiend is rather fragile here. Like, EHOME.Keen are working with a lot of damage. And that Doom ultimate, of course, which is always going to throw a wrench into whatever hero you have. I mean, their supports are pretty well rounded. Stuns are going to be useful, but difficult to land no matter what. It does seem like CDEC kind of have to play this slow game up against what EHOME.Keen have. So getting a scaling mid lane hero is going to be fairly important here. Alchemist already banned out, unfortunately, would be almost the perfect hero in that regard. Storm you don't really want to be playing up against Doom. Again, Lincoln Spheres are great, but they can only carry you so far. It is a Venomancer for CDEC. I don't mind that. I do think this hero is more so on the weak side, like on the weaker side of things. If it is going to be just a mid lane Venomancer or a mid lane Morphling, Venomancer as a core has some serious issues. First of all, like you run the risk of running into a bad situation in the mid-late game where you are just going to get jumped and you don't really have survivability, you're just going to die. And if your ultimate doesn't land on enough heroes, even if you don't die, it's like, it's just not good enough. Like an ultimate on 2 heroes as a core just doesn't do enough. You really do need to stick around for a long time. Also, this is going to be a very magic damage heavy last pick for CDEC, who were already pretty heavy in the magic damage. So, yeah, if EHOME.Keen just get pipes, BKBs, just survive in general. Survive in general versus magic damage, then Venomancer may run into some serious issues. Also is a hero that is very gankable by a Doom. And Doom is usually going to have a pretty decent time at ganking his targets, as long as he has like a Mud, I think it's called, or a Troll Net, or some way to get in there with a Stomp. And Venomancer is just a very gankable hero. So it is going to be CDEC with a very heavy magic draft. And I'm not really sure if I like it over what EHOME have. Now, EHOME do have a lot of melee heroes. So the ultimate from Venomancer, assuming he has time to plan his positioning and really get in there, should be landing on, those 4 melee heroes pretty easily. But of course, I think this game hinges mostly on this Bat Rider. If he's going to constantly get his Flame Lasso buffed out by Slark, by a Legion, then I don't see CDEC winning the game, honestly. But if he's able to land those lassos somehow, then yeah, he's going to be quite a large asset. You land the lasso, you land the Death Ward, and take the fight 4v5 from there on out, you should be in a pretty good spot. Either way, this is game 2. EHOME down a game, as you can see from the tabs on top. They're going to put Dark once again on the Legion Commander. There are no bad targets to duel this time. Ember Spirit's here, and we got CM handled by Wrong. Over towards mid lane, it is Doom who's here as well. Got GGG on the Slark. On the CDEC side, June's going to be handling the Witch Doctor along with Flyby's Morphling. Up against the Legion Commander, it's not going to be the best lane for CDEC, but they should be able to keep poking at her, and if she makes a mistake, who knows, might get a kill. Shades on the Veno. We got Demons on the Earth Spirit, who's going to maybe be helping out Sep's Bat Rider up towards top. Again, Bat Rider kind of needs a good early start. If he doesn't, he's kind of a lackluster hero. Getting kills in this top lane versus Slark, I want to say, like, impossible. Yeah, it's never going to happen. But you will be able to kill off CM. Very slow hero, especially with the roll in. 2 stacks of Napalm already. What is going on with Demons? But that Napalm is going to add up on a very slow hero already. No Firefly, though, means that they suffer from a lack of damage. Level 2, you can go for that. Level 1, not as much so. Okay, this Perfect World server is not having a good time right now. I will maybe have to reconnect if this keeps up like this, but we'll see. It's okay right now. Now, Sep is going to have a lane where, yes, he can die here, but it will require most likely a Doom to rotate in. Right now, Doom's just chilling in the jungle with the Tornado. The Crystal Maiden is not really a great babysitter. It's just not really what she does, especially when there's an Earth Spirit bullying her out of lane. So Wrong is going to be hard-pressed to keep this Slark from taking like too much chip damage from this Bat Rider, but with the stick charges constantly being filled, GGG should be fine in this lane, despite not having a lot of help. Infernal Blade, already picked up on the Doom. We'll chuck a boulder onto the Earth Spirit. Roll out is not going to work. Connects onto the Doom and takes a couple right clicks here. Is the Doom faster? Seems like he might be. Yeah, he has boots first. And that'll be Doom getting first blood on Demons. The ideal pickup, Hurl Boulder. It does a lot of damage, actually. A surprising amount of damage, but it's also free. And if you suicide as Doom, you get 2 more. It's pretty sweet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And this is what he's going to look for. Get that Golem, Hurl Boulder, and if possible, throw it towards Shade and try to apply some pressure to this Venomancer. Right now, going toe-to-toe evenly with this Ember Spirit. Expect a Plague Ward list build for a good portion of this game. Most likely is going to be getting a Hand of Midas because it's this patch. He's going to get chained down, but Demons is here to help out. Not enough, though. The shield will hold. Slow roast this Snake. He's going to try to block off the passage with the Plague Ward. That's not going to do it, but the tower is still attacking. It may just get the kill in the end for Demons. June's going to arrive as well with the Maledict to land. He does have Scorched Earth level 1. The poison's still ticking from the Venomancer. Gets kicked back into tower range. Demons with the blaze. Double Shard Golem now here. Shard Doom. I don't know what we're gonna call them. The Rock. Well, that doesn't look like it did. Doesn't look like it did much. But either way, 2-for-1 exchange, CDEC bringing in the supports. And Venomancer, still having a contribution from beyond the grave. But it's really this Earth Spirit with the plays. And that Plague Ward actually did block off the Ember Spirit's escape path to some degree. Quick check-in on bottom. Dark is having a pretty good time up against Flyby. And Morphling is kind of fragile up against this Legion Commander's overwhelming odds. Only 480 HP. But should still be able to get all the CS he wants. No real threat on the Morphling's life unless he gets randomly nuked down by overwhelming odds. Which could happen, but as long as he's kind of far away from the creep wave, plays his angles properly, should be okay. Roll in towards mid. Venomancer is there with the Gale, which does so much damage. Ember Spirit is not going anywhere anytime soon. He's going to get beaten to the death. You got to remember, guys, that Venomancer, though he is very gankable, if he's on pure offense, he's an absolute powerhouse. And now he's going to get another chance to use Gale. Although the roll misses, which means that they land the Infernal Blade. That'll just straight kill off Shade. They still land the Maledict, and with the poison, the Gale actually did what was cast there. I didn't see it, because Perfect World, thank you, will end up killing the Doom. I don't remember the math, but Venomous Gale does, like, it actually does an insane amount of damage. Like 700 or something like that, over time, of course, so it's going to be soft countered by Regen and Doom, or a Doom Scorched Earth, rather. But if it just lands, and if you don't have any way of getting rid of it, or any way of getting healed, you're taking a truckload of damage, especially when Poison Sting and Nova are involved. Nova can do like 1,000 damage if you just land it. It's actually insane how much damage that does. Venomancer, though he did die twice, got 4 kills for the team, funneling a lot of cash into this Earth Spirit's pockets, into the Witch Doctor as well. And you know what? In this day and age, if you have a little bit of cash on a support, I think I know a good item for you. It starts with an H and ends with End of Midas. Sep, gonna try to go for the Slark. Bad move, bro. There's a Doom and a CM waiting in ambush. He's gonna try to fly up the cliffside. He's gonna try to get out of here. He's getting a lot of distance, actually. The Slark can't easily go in. He's gonna pack himself. That'll do a lot of damage to the Slark. He's 1 hit away from death. Will stick up. Try to bait in Sep. A couple more right clicks on the Bat Rider, though. Slark pounces out of there. And Bat Rider survives, but that could have been disastrous for EHOME. 3-man gank a Bat Rider and you end up losing your Slark and not getting the kill. You're not really going to be too happy to tell that story, but they will all survive. So no harm, no foul. And this Venomancer, he's just chilling. I want to say we're going to see 3 Midases on the CDEC side. Earth, Witch Doctor, and Veno. And again, they can't really play super aggressively. As powerful as Venomancer push is, it's only if you have Plague Wards. Morphling at that point is not going to be comfortable pushing. So yeah, we're going to look toward the later game stage on this one. But hey, Morphling's having a pretty good start. Legion Commander is not having a free roll lane either. They're getting a lot on the support, so yeah, CDC are doing okay. EHOME still farming happily with the Slark, but not applying a ton of pressure to the Bat, who's right behind the Slark in net worth. Drums should be up pretty quickly in this game. They're going to jump in towards Shadle. The cast goes in first onto the Ember Spirit. He is going to be just fine as the heal comes in from Legion Commander, who lands a big overwhelming odds. Poison Nova does go off, but it's not going to help them right now. It's going to help them in like 10 seconds. And by that time, already 2 have been lost. Poor CM. EHOME, bring in everybody for that one. But it is well worth it. And Bat Rider getting farm. It's great for the Bat. But at the same time, is up against such a bad matchup that farming the Bat Rider might just be irrelevant in the end. Plus, if he gets jumped here, not that great. Chain him down. Pounce is going to connect. So he's going to try to lasso the Ember just because for value. June's going to arrive. Lands a huge Maledict on 3 heroes. But there's no damage follow-up, so I'm not really sure if this is going to do all that much, although it is still ticking down the Doom. What level is that? That's only level 1. Jeez. I've never seen a 3-man Maledict. Or maybe I have. It's kind of forgettable, I guess. But it's going to be a pretty nice kill on a handful of heroes up towards top. EHOME definitely getting some traction here. And Morphling is just an awkward hero timing-wise. Can't really go aggressive in the early stages with this hero in any capacity, even with an IO, which is probably the best case scenario for a Morphling, but even then it's not that great. Venomancer's supposed to hold down the fort, but EHOME's late game is actually insane. Shade's going to be slowly pushing in this wave, but only 1 point in the Plague Wards means that push is just for its CS value, just for chip damage value, not really for taking down the tower. And over in the bottom lane, duel onto the Morphling. He's doomed as well. Help is not coming in, so he's definitely dead here. No deny either. Feels bad. Cask onto the Ember. He has just set up an Escape Remnant. The roll is coming in. The silence does connect. Lasso is coming in as well. With the Maledict to land, the Ember Spirit will be dropped. Wrong also going to show himself, which may paint an additional target here for CDEC. Flame Break's going to hit. Jeez, it just kept on going. Perfect world, please.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Either way, Ember Spirit pretty well dealt with by CDEC. No proper buffing out on the Ember Spirit there. So the chain stun, it was really well played, but if Dark is there at any point, just press the attack and he just spams that jump out button. No way to catch up to him at that point. Unless you also have a Morphling there. But even then, like, Morphling is still just building up these basic items. Lincoln Sphere, pretty standard Morphling fare, insanely powerful this game. But takes a long time to get to it. It's a pretty expensive item, that Lincoln's. And it doesn't really give you that much offensive power. Lets you stay pretty well morphed into agility, which gives you some right-click damage, but still not really fight-ready until you get Lincoln Sphere plus one other item. EHOME, not yet with the Blink Dagger on the Legion Commander, but still the Slark is getting closer and closer to that Shadow Blade. The Doom hasn't had the most active rotation game, but is actually going to get jumped on bottom. Maledict into waveform, I think, landed properly. No way to tell, obviously, because the animations are being lazy, but either way, Ember Spirit jumping in. Doom still not looking that hot, and they will get the Doom, but take a lot of health damage onto demons and fly by both. They'll lose the Earth to the Ember, and they may turn around for this one. Shade has arrived. Wrong is being left by his allies. Feels Crystal Maiden, man. Poor CM. And the Morphling, crucially, will survive. A trade that CDEC are more than happy to make. A 2-for-1 support trade. Doom especially. Technically a support. Quote-unquote support. But with Hand of Midas and Devour, it's going to be rolling in the dough. And therefore is all the more attractive to kill off. A lot of extra bounty from that guy. These kills are much needed from the Morphling, surviving as well. Need that acceleration towards the Lincolns just so he can catapult into his next item. Bat Rider, what are you looking at? 1700? Should have his Blink Dagger slightly after this Legion. Hopefully for the Bat's sake, he doesn't get blinked on by the Legion and dueled to kill. But, you know, you never know what's going to happen. Doom on the Morphling with not much HP. Help is coming in for maybe the deny, but he's already dead, and June's going to arrive into a whole mess of heroes. He's going to land another nice Maledict, but it won't do anything. He'll just get slow roasted by the Scorched Earth. Man, June is just, like, getting shafted by his teleportations. It's like, yo, I'll help you guys. And then, no. Well, Nova, out of panic, actually, from Shade. Sometimes when you hit a Venomancer too hard, he just craps out a Poison Nova. It's a truth fact. It does a little bit of damage to the Legion Commander, but almost irrelevant. Actually, it is completely irrelevant damage. And the cooldown is actually pretty steep as well. What is this? What's going on here, guys? He's gonna get a Dragon Lance. This Venomancer is not gonna play the Suicide Bomber Blink Ags Veil Venomancer? I mean, just for stat value, Dragon Lance is a fine item to have. Just look at Meepo games. June's gonna get jumped by a Slark. Ripperino June. Is he really planning on right-clicking things? Poison Sting is powerful, for sure. But, are you really gonna be going into a right-click Venomancer game? Is that actually happening? That'll be sick, though. Like, Venomancer with Dragon Lance, get a Mjolnir going. I'm down with that, because that seems fun. But I'm not sure if fun means good. It usually doesn't. Blink Dagger on Sep is active. Dark gonna get blinked upon. Chains is there to prevent the Lasso from dragging her up the cliffside. They'll do a little bit of damage to Dark. Not bad there, but still, the initiation botched. And now, here comes the Slark. Jumping right in. Dark is here as well with the duel onto the Witch Doctor. Will take him down, duel damage 1. But the waveforms can land to 3 heroes. Will end up killing both the Legion and the Ember. Now onto Wrong, who's silenced and hopeless. Will fall afterwards. This server is just not cooperating with me, guys. I apologize. But I think if I try to reconnect, it might just end up being worse. At least I could still see heroes move. It's going to be a 3-for-1 exchange as CDEC give up some duel damage, but get a lot for it, and the Slark is stunned up in the Sentry Ward. They're going to nuke him down and blast him to death. Where are you going there, Slark? Dominating spree ended by Flyby, and Morphling with just a Perseverance is going to get doomed up, but I'm not sure if they can actually kill him. Dark is actually going to arrive with the Ember Spirit. They definitely can kill him. Morphling down, Batrider soon to fall, and Shade after is also going to die. He's going to get a nice Nova off. Death Ward's being channeled, which will grind down the Ember Spirit. Jump in from Demons. They need to cancel this freezing field. The duel is there onto the Earth. That should be won here. Wrong's still alive somehow. Sting should kill him, and it will. Everyone on CDEC is dead. A pile of bodies, and the Legion Commander, kind of thematically I guess, stands victorious on top. And that is going to be a huge exchange in favor of EHOME. Costs them a lot though. Ember Spirit dies, respawns, jumps into the fight, and dies again. Really, really awkward, but they do get now... Oh, that actually wasn't a duel victory. It was just a duel that got a kill. Still, a lot of extra cash for the Legion. Like, a lot of extra cash for the CM, even though she did go down. Survived a long time through it. Let's crowdsource this one, guys. Press 1 if you want me to reconnect. Press 2 if you're happy with this. There's a chance it will get worse. A very high chance it will get worse. The tower will fall. Flyby participating a lot in that previous engagement. He had a much faster Lincoln Sphere. And he get jumped on by a Slark, kind of. But Slark can't solo kill a Morphling, not at this stage. Needs a Basher, I think, or an Abyssal. Well, actually, Abyssal's not great up against Lincolns, I guess. Probably a Basher. Flyby at this point is baiting allies, but his allies are coming in. This Venomancer, another Ogre Club into BKB. This Venomancer is playing like a Shadow Fiend. This is actually like a Shadow Fiend build.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
The tower will be pushed. Flyby with the Lincoln Sphere. It's going to be rather Doom-proof, although Doom still has that Hurl Boulder. So that's a free Lincoln's pop right there. It's kind of slow, but it's something that the Doom can do by himself. Smoke up, in the meantime, heading up north. They are going to run intercept into Doom, who's going to run into... Who is that? Venomancer? Yeah, they see him, but the Venomancer has backup and then some. Jump in, lasso, and Doom. 3rd place in the net worth chart. Why are you dragging him away, man? Is he dead? I don't know. Is he... He's dead. He's right. Yeah, there we go. And that is going to be a huge bounty for CDEC. The downside of Doom, he's worth a lot. Same thing with like an Alchemist. Their net worths are very high. An Alchemist perhaps a little more inflated than a Doom, but killing them off means that you're wealthy as hell. They will lose a tower in the mid lane in the meantime. Probably take one top in exchange, but Dark Wrong with the Ember Spirit in the back. Farming CM ult. Just wants to clear the creep wave and get out. Can the Batrider punish? Gonna jump in. Has no lasso though, so definitely not. Dark is gonna teleport top where the Slark is already there. It will get the Poison Nova off onto a couple of heroes, but the duel is easily won by Dark. And over towards bottom lane in the meantime, Morphling. Let's see how good this Lincoln Sphere is. He is going to hurl Boulder. Doom lands. He didn't have a replicate up either, so this push kind of suicidal. They'll boil the Morphling. Shade actually ends up killing Dark posthumously. The Venomancer damage, even with no amplification, no ags or anything like that, still does do a lot. 55 times 16. Someone do that math? 500, that's 800 something damage. NA math, I know. But losing the Morphling there, man, that hurts. I mean, you do that, you make that play as Morphling if you have a replicate up. If you don't, you're kind of boned once anything comes towards you.
Radiant bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
So EHOME
has fallen.
starting to pull ahead in the net worth. This Doom with the double gold income of the Devourer and Midas certainly doing some work. These supports from CDEC though had a really good start. Don't have Midas. What kind of support are you in this day and age where you don't have Midas? Come on, man. Demons, by the way, is going to get jumped on by the Slark. Has a little bit of backup here. Flame Break to get a little bit of extra space. Stun through the Shadow Dance. Silenced as well. Sept going to jump in, pull him back. No Legion to help out this Slark here. Although Maledicted, he's still able to get quite a bit of distance away. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea what that projectile was from the Witch Doctor, but it's a kill nonetheless on the Slark. Trying a little bit too hard to get a kill on the Earth Spirit. Alright, we have a good amount of ones. We have a lot of ones, a couple of fours. Alright guys, we're gonna try to restart. We're gonna try a restart because this is getting to be some pretty bad lag. 16 to 20. We just saw Slark die, so there's a pretty decent chance that he won't die immediately afterwards. Right? Just respawn and die again. It's okay. 16-20. What can possibly go wrong? If the score is anything but 16 to 20 when we come back, I'm going to be a little bit upset. Come on, baby. Show me something. Big money, no whammy. And here we... God damn it. We messed up. No. Please. Please believe me. Yes. Oh no, Morphling dying on bottom lane. The lag has not been improved at all. GG's going in pretty darn far. Gets tagged with the Poison Nova, but he does have a lot of backup coming in. It's the Ember Spirit Veil looking for the Veno. Will land the chains, jump forward one more time, and will get the kill. And Doom's going to spill forward as well. Onto June. Demon's not looking too hot. He gets slow roasted by the Flame Guard. Sept cannot do anything to help his allies. There's a dual win. June is not looking too great either. He's going to fall. Triple kill for the Ember Spirit. Just in time. They're going to take down the Morphling and a whole load of other kills. This Venomancer, I'm not convinced, is a solid pick here. I'm not going to say it's the only problem that CDEC are facing. They are playing very, very fast and loose with this Morphling. But, Venomancer build. The Venomancer build is real. Now, EHOME just have, I think, even superior late game. Despite the fact that, yes, they have superior farm, they're just that much more powerful when it comes down to it. Like, this many scaling heroes, Legion, Doom, Ember, Slark. I mean, you can kill off the Crystal Maiden all you want. Morphling needs a lot more farm if he's going to have anything close to a chance of fighting back this swarm of heroes. And of course, he also needs his Batrider to land lassos, which have so far been landing pretty well, to be honest. Like, credit where it's due. Sepp has been playing pretty well around what should be some pretty bad matchups. Thinking about going to help out Demons. Ember Spirit gonna get baited by Demons. Gets dragged now by the lasso. Can they kill him off in a timely manner? No. Sleight of Fist, he's gonna survive for a little while longer. Gets a jump in. Still will go down along with the CM, but has done a lot of damage. The Legion Commander is coming in, although a little bit too slow. The Doom is just shrugging off the Morphling's attacks, just going straight for the Venomancer. And now with the Slark's arrival, the corner set, he'll blink out to the north, but I'm not really sure if he has an escape. Nope, Force Staff down. Maybe he does have an escape. Tries to smoke and get some more movement speed, but the Legion Commander is right on his tail. Overwhelming odds, connects, cancels a Blink Dagger for another couple seconds. He'll have another one soon. And he will not, oh he will! Infernal Blade dodged, TP out, attempted, Doom is available, but they will not expend it. The Batrider will get away. We can see how irrelevant the Morphling is in these engagements though. Like he's building up towards a shotgun, which is, you know, Lincoln's shotgun, a pretty standard Morphling build. What will that actually do versus what EHOME have? He just doesn't have enough right-click damage that's sustained. The Doom is just way too tanky. Pretty much everyone on EHOME is way too tanky. And his allies just can't hold down the fort long enough. Flyby. Now going to be dove on by the Slark and the Ember Spirit. Where's your replicate, bro? Where's the help? This Morphling really needs the help, guys. Running low on mana. They will grab the Slark with the lasso, kick him in the face, pull back, silence. Flyby still going to get jumped one more time. With this Ember Spirit's damage, it will be enough to kill off the Morphling, though it will be a 1-for-1 trade. Can they also kill off the Ember Spirit? That will make it worth it in the end. It looks like it's a possibility, but the backup's coming in huge for the Dire. As Sep is going to be caught, that'll be the gem. Given over to EHOME. Demon's going to try TP out of here. He'll be frostbitten in place. The Doom's going to deal with the Witch Doctor and Venomancer. The DPS hero that CDEC deserve is not there. EHOME are going to lose Slark, but gain 4 in exchange. And this game is not looking good, guys. This is a troublesome game to say the least. I mean, I'm not really sure if the Ag's Blink build on Venomancer would be at all superior here. But the Venomancer is... It almost seems like he's irrelevant. The Morphling is just not getting enough cover. I'm not sure if that's an issue of Flyby himself or an issue of him playing with his teammates, or I guess lack thereof. EHOME are all on the same wavelength. They're all moving as a team. Whoever gets in trouble may die, but they have a lot of backup so that the death is going to be very quickly avenged. And for CDEC, their reinforcements are just a little bit too slow. Even if Shotgun is picked up right now on Flyby, the Doom, he's cash. Like a Refresher Orb, definitely a possibility. Shade's going to get picked off by the Slark. My bad. We have a smoke, though. Just going to probably catch off Demons. Chain down. Frostbite available. He'll get a kick back. But straight dead afterwards. Jump in from the Ember, looking for more. They already found June. The Doom doing most of the work there. Not going to get the kill. CM kill steal. And this tower will fall shortly after. 3 free kills for EHOME. Looking for a little bit more. Ember will tag the Batrider, but I don't think there's any follow-up here. Legion still doesn't have a duel. They'll take down a tower, at least one. They're just going to slide into Roche. This Morphling just can't do it all by himself. They need another source of damage. Oh my god, it is just going to be the right-clicker Maelstrom Venomancer. This is some pub tier stuff right here. Not saying it's bad, but it's definitely not what CDEC need at this stage in the game. What they need is a not Venomancer hero. What they need is some answer to this Doom. He already has a pipe. Oh, that's a pretty good answer. Although the backup's coming in once again in spades. The Batrider got baited by that opportunity. Shade lands a really nice ultimate onto a boatload of heroes. But still, even with his BKB, can't do enough damage to stand his ground. They will focus down the Doom with the Death Ward. That will drive the rest of EHOME away. So far, not bad from CDEC, though I don't know if they can kill off this Slark once, let alone twice. They get buffed out by the Legion, and it will be a 2 for 2. Doom kind of thrown away on an illusion. Can't really blame him for that one. It happens. But they have very quickly dealt with the Ember Spirit there. Death Ward damage. Pretty substantial. Shotgun up on the Morphling. Killing off an Ember is pretty big game. I mean, that's always the case. But killing off a Doom in this game is, yeah, pretty high value as well. 14k net worth. Top of the charts easily. is a pretty difficult hero to bring down, but if you do manage it, you're going to be rewarded and then some. The Slark, though, still with this, just a basic Shadow Blade, looking for more in the way of the Morphling. Pact will be dodged by the Waveform. Backup coming in a little bit too slowly again. Flyby off on his own. This time it's just up against the Slark, so it's not the end of the world, but add a Legion and or Doom on top of that, things get pretty rough pretty quickly. The Slark still has a double life. I think they can kill him off once, but oh, maybe not with the Ember Spirit. Oh my god, Flyby just melted. He has a lot of agility, but Lincoln Spear does not do anything versus Slark Ember. A minute dead. June's placing Observer Wards, which, I mean, it's nice, but I don't think that Observer Ward is going to do a hell of a lot for them right now. EHOME, everyone is alive. They'll try to force a buyback here on the Morphling. Roche Timer, they, yeah, just took care of that recently. Still the Slark has it. Might as well go in. Kick. It's gonna land, I guess. The Bat Rider. This is where things get really rough for Sep. It's where you know that if you jump in for a lasso, you're going to get it pressed off. Or even Lotused. So Cask will be reflected right now. Doom is immediately there onto the Venomancer. No BKB, no ultimate. Shrine is doing a lot for him to keep him alive, but that's almost irrelevant. They'll channel the Death Ward for a little bit. It'll be cancelled very quickly. The Ember Spirit will jump out of there. Maledict actually doing some serious damage versus Legion and Ember. Kick is going to land onto the Doom. Waveform in. Will end up killing off the CM, and now it's onto the Doom they go. With the Morphling Shotgun, they'll do a bit of damage. He has the Pipe, though, so it's going to take a while. Still will get the kill. And in the base, it's a Slark. How did you get here? He's going to go all the way down and try to buy a TP from the enemy. If I was a Radiant shopkeeper, I would not sell to this Slark, but that's just me. EHOME diving deep, but end up getting cleaned up as the Morphling comes in huge there. The Shrine comes in huge there. They spend a lot of time just trying to kill off a Venomancer who's doomed and therefore pretty much irrelevant in that fight for as long as that doom lasts. But the Maledict on the Witch Doctor actually doing some serious work. I don't know his average Maledict count, but it seems like it's at least 1.5 heroes per cast. Insane value. Kill off the Doom, Ember, and Legion. Most of the real big heavy hitters there from EHOME take a spill.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is falling.
And the Venomancer. Look at this farm. Insane. He's now baiting. His allies are TPing to the shrine, and it looks like EHOME are taking the bait. And they can kill off the Venomancer pretty quickly, so though it may be a bait in theory. Okay, he's gonna back off. Man, Venomancer. Is there some sort of talent that I don't know about that's huge here? I mean, EXP gain on Venomancer is kind of legit. 75 damage is quite high as well. Is that really, like, the reason? Like, before this would be, like, a trash build, right? Before the 7.0 talent implementation. 75 damage is a lot of free damage. But it's at level 20, so it'll kick into gear, yes, but 32 minutes in, you know? Respawn time for a DPS hero is actually kind of nice. Doom, right around the corner from a Morphling. But he has BKB and Lincolns. A lot of defensive power on the Morphling, but still can be easily dealt with. We'll move in, Legion. We'll blink out of there. Pings are out. Yeah, no one's going to run into each other, at least not right now. Time for a Venomancer illusion to start baiting. I don't think anyone in EHOME is going to take that. As long as they just build up magic resistance, should get that general magic survivability up, they should be fine. Like Venomancer, even though he is going for, I guess, what we can call a right-click build, still is doing a lot of damage with his ultimate, Poison Sting, Poison everything, and Maelstrom as well, magic. So BKBs, pipes. I don't know if anyone's gonna get a pipe outside of this Doom. Doesn't seem likely. But BKB is a pretty big game here. Keep yourself safe versus Flyby as well. Who's going to replicate out? There we go. Where was that before, man? You gotta stay elusive as a Morphling. Ping, ping, ping across the map. They will still smoke out and almost run into a Legion. Not quite. Yeah, she's free and clear. Scan is out. They're scanning with the smoke. EHOME now do not have the #1 net worth hero claimed by the Morphling. This is the exact scenario CDEC need if they're going to claim a win here. Morphling with a gross amount of farm and hopefully something that EHOME can't deal with. They definitely can at this point, like, despite his farm is very easily killable. Even on a 1v1 basis, I'm pretty sure Slark, especially once he gets this Basher, is capable of doing that. Mjolnir coming up on Venomancer. Man, Static Charge plus Lightning procs plus Poison Nova gets pretty crazy. It's not up yet. Packed on the Slark. Cast will prop Blinking Sphere. Force that the wrong way. It gets packed out anyway, so it doesn't even matter. They do land a Gale onto the Slark, but that will not do anything versus the Shadow Dance healing double BKBs used there from CDEC to do pretty much nothing except for waste cooldowns. And they still have the Venomancer, BKB, Mjolnir, big item, and the Nova. But Morphling, that's 10 seconds, I believe, thrown away. Yeah, 10. Just know, guys, the Mjolnir, Hammer of Thor, best item in the game, bar none. See how much damage you actually do with it. They silence up the Slark, Gale. Lincoln Sphere will once again reflect the cask back. There's no lasso just yet on the Bat Rider. They'll maledict him, and June is growing a big pair of balls running out that far. But EHOME, they walk in, take a free tower, which of course means free shrines. Should be very quickly dealt with here. Man, Venomancer's actually closing in on the Ember Spirit's farm level. I mean, regardless of who you are, if you have a Mjolnir, you're going to be farming quickly. Or faster. Let's not say quickly, let's say faster. And EHOME, they are respecting CDEC's damage output. It is slow damage output, kind of damage over time, outside of this shotgun. The BKB's being procced in the last fight. Yeah, it'll make it weaker for this next upcoming fight, but no huge timing they can exploit outside of that tier 3 being taken. What she has to kill off the shrines will make Roshing a little bit easier for EHOME. That's the shrine that they killed off, the Rosh shrine, and they can deal with Rosh very quickly. Despite not having, like, the best traditional Rosh heroes, Ember, Slark, pretty bad at it. CDEC will be hard-pressed to get in there despite having a Bat Rider. Doom, Ags is up. Just gonna go for that refresher I mentioned earlier. So you can Doom Venomancer Illusion and a real Venomancer. It's good times, man. This Morphling is still building up some pretty heavy items, but it does seem like the Morphling needs someone else to step up and start to do some serious damage. Oh, Venomancer. Run, Veno, you're in danger. There's a Slark in the area. I don't think the Slark is gonna really fall for this. Not seriously, at least. You might as well kill it. Or not. Let it walk with 80 HP. Just to show them you mean business. Go tell your friends about me. They'll go into the Rosh pit, and they'll pretty quickly deal with him. CDEC driven away once. Do have their Morphling replicated back. He has another illusion available to him. The Venomancer illusion is not really all that relevant. Damage-wise, like, he hasn't built up a lot of stats. The replicate doesn't do a lot of DPS. To the Rosh, though, they will be slowed up a little bit by the Ember Spirit. Bat Rider in the air. I don't think they'll be able to stop this, although GG by himself, not going all too quickly, is going to be forced out. The Rock comes in, connects onto Rosh. Slark is still here with Lotus on him. Sepp is going to not get the last one initiation. They jump in instead. Doom is going to be landed onto the Venomancer, but Doom immediately gets eviscerated, and they jump in. GG takes the Aegis, but it will cost them 2 kills for it immediately. Off into the south, it's Demons. Going up against one too many heroes. He'll try to TP out. That's not happening. Dual damage for the Legion, up to 98 now. But that Doom, man, that Doom did not last long at all. Just got ground to bits. They still have the double life on the Slark, and that is a huge deal. But CDEC, even though they did not get the initiation off, farthest thing from it, still able to get a handful of kills and at least challenge EHOME. Still, the real challenge is yet to come. You gotta defend against this push. Slark will slide up top. We'll see if they can do anything relevant to him. There is detection here. Cask will bounce back, which will stun up a lot of the Radiant. There goes June. Demolished. Shade will get his ultimate off, but the Slark has a lot of regen. Morphling is here with now some backup in the Batrider. Ember Spirit will TP out, and yeah, the Venomancer damage output will be, once again, irrelevant. They're gonna just try to desperately hold their base. Did require already 2 buyouts. A lasso at this point needs to land. The Morphling is maxed out in experience. Still doesn't have this anti-style up just yet. And this Slark with that Lotus destroying the CDEC side with that reflected Cask. Adaptive Strike will pop a Lincoln Sphere. Cask will land, won't be reflected or anything like that, but just be straight buffed out by the Legion. Now the jump in onto the Ember Spirit. They grab him. Nothing's going to buff it out. Death Ward is being fully channeled in the background. Someone's side. It's just going to destroy the Slark's first life. At least he's going to get out of there, albeit barely. Ember Spirit as well jumped out. Did get kicked by the rock, but CDEC with perfect initiation just don't have enough damage to get these kills. And the Slark is still going to work on the Raxes. June will land a Maledict, but that's not good enough. They do silence one. The Ember Spirit goes in pretty deep, gets kicked in tower range, but the Earth will get left behind. Morphling needs some time to regen in the fountain. And EHOME are just spilling in with so much bulk, so much extra sustain. The initiation from the Batrider is not up for another 15 seconds. Shade's going to try to do the DPS Venomancer thing versus the Slark. This is a grand total of nothing. Maledict's actually doing a lot of work. But he's invis. He can just back off into the Fog of War and seriously get regen if he wants to. Now going in towards the Venomancer. He has a BKB. He will deploy it, drop his ultimate there as well. But Slark, he just doesn't care. He has Shadow Dance regen. He has the Aegis. What is actually going to happen to him? Breaking even with his ult versus the Venos. And if he's the only one to hit with that, that's a big win for EHOME. They're not done just yet. This siege will never stop until EHOME break the base wide open. Slark taking a little bit of damage here and there, but he has his eyes on the prize. Rax is down. Batrider needs to land a lasso. Will grab the Ember. Try to bring him down with the Morphling, and the Venomancer damage is just not enough. He skips on out of there, and that's got to be game. They do end up killing him in the end, but EHOME, well, maybe not. They only killed off the Venomancer. Morphling was able to replicate out of there. Maybe not game just yet, but Venomancer, he will buy back. The Batrider is going to jump into a Slark. Not good times. Legion still healing up everyone, and Venomancer pushing in, but kind of a bluff, man. There's still this double life on Slark. He wants the bottom lane. A lot of agility stolen. Morphling has Manta Style up. Lincoln Sphere will block the reflected Adaptive Strike. Will do a lot of damage now, but a Force Staff out. Kick is really good. Will land onto the Doom. Lock him down to kill him off. CM as well, caught up in it. Will end up being 3 kills for CDEC. The buyback cost, though, is seriously adding up for the Radiant. Morphling at least still has his. When he has that, it's at least still a chance for CDEC to hold. But EHOME now 1.5 racks richer. Will suffer some losses. But the real takeaway here is that this Slark is just not something that CDEC can deal with. I mean, he already is a slippery hero. That is without Lotus on him, without the hard dispel constantly being cast on him. The Legion's almost at level 25 as well. So press the attack. I think just, yeah, going to be reduced in cooldown. So it's 5 seconds, just constant heals, which is sustain-wise is fine, but the constant purge effect from cask, from any shotgun or lasso, Earth Spirit combo. Really hard for the CDEC side to deal with that Slark. I don't think insta-gibbing him is really in the question. Their Ember Spirit, now that he has an Octarine, of course, with all of his other survivability items, Blade Mail, Veil, it's really difficult to kill off. They have to do that job to kill off these heroes in the duration of a lasso, which again, I'm assuming is going to stick, which they have been really good. The Legion Commander not really been able to buff that out. But, I mean, despite the fact that lassos are landing, no damage is being done. Not nearly enough. Morphling's going for Satanic. I mean, he does have a lot of agility. So going for that survivability is pretty strong. What does this Venomancer have? Was that crit that I saw? That was crit. Sure, Shade fighting desperately to get some DPS on the board. As the respawn time. So Venomancer with a lot of uptime. But I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to man-fight a Slark, or really anyone from EHOME. Smoke out. EHOME are playing this game very slowly. Not pushing too aggressively since they no longer have this double life on the Slark. Just waiting for someone from CDEC to make a mistake. It will be a Venomancer illusion to be shown off. They will see the real Slark now. Batrider in the back end is going to BKB. His lasso's available, but he'll get abyssaled and then ground to bits. Oh, he's going to jump out of there in time. BKB now down, but he still has his lasso. So you know what? It's not the end of the world. It will be the end of the world for the Earth Spirit. He's dead. And now with one hero less to worry about, never mind, he'll buy out. EHOME still thinking about going for it. Sleight of Fist spam. This Slark is taking no damage here. Waveform in. Flyby going to do what he can. Damage to the Slark is quite high, but into the Shadow Dance he goes. Still gets tagged by the Poison Nova. Roll in for the Earth Spirit. Magnetize onto everyone, plus the lasso. Going to connect onto the Ember, though he will get out of there. They'll focus down the Doom, bring him down first. No one's dying on the CDEC squad. They're actually doing it. They'll kill off the Ember. And EHOME, the rest of them are on the run. There's Doom on the Morphling. Now up against the Slark. Went in a little bit too far. Gets dueled up and will get dropped immediately. Slark now going to let loose onto the Batrider. BKB once again up on him. He'll buy out the Morphling and try to get back into this engagement, as will the Ember. And he's going to jump out of there. Leash down 2 heroes. But this Slark is getting so much regen just from his passive Shadow Dance effect. Is still okay. CDEC expend the vast majority of their buybacks. Flyby getting, again, way too fast and loose with his positioning. It will be the Slark to remain undealt with. Although they are trying, to the credit of CDEC. They're not giving up. GGG is going to jump in, demolish the Batrider. That's no lasso available for this fight. Venomancer no longer has his ultimate either. He's going to get beaten down. That's good game. Well played. The Morphling also dropped by the Slark. Powerful hero, that Slark. Turns out, and EHOME, the fairly greedy draft, end up just rolling over CDEC, who, I mean, the Batrider first pick was, I think, really mediocre. I think the Venomancer last pick was, to be generous, mediocre as well. And EHOME.Keen just locking down the early mid game with this Doom, with this Legion, letting Slark get fully 6-slotted. Solid game plan, to say the least. This is going to push it to a game 3, guys. I'm Mike Loris. It's been a pleasure casting this game for you, and I will be right back for the third and final game.